Hello and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Steph, and if you're not new, thanks for coming back. In today's video, we are tackling the most embarrassing room of my house, which is my own bedroom, and I was very nervous to show you guys how bad this room gets, so please be kind. You could consider this a free clean, but free clean for myself because I would say that it is at the level of the free cleans that I often do. And as some people would say, you have to put on your own oxygen mask before you can help others, and so it really was time to tackle this room. On this day I spent about 2.5 hours doing this room, and no, it is not fully done, but the floor is cleared, and we get through a lot of things. We do declutter as well, so I do feel like it was a successful and productive day, and I did not take any breaks, which that is a very long time for me to work without breaks, so by the end of it I was definitely done. When I picked up that Doritos bag, it was for some reason filled with liquid, so I can only assume that one of the children knocked over a cup or a glass and it spilled into the bag and nowhere else, which was very strange, but I was thankful that I didn't get anywhere else. So anyway, this section of the room, this is kind of my side of the room, and so there was a lot of dirty laundry on the floor and some random things and rubbish as well, so we clear all that up, and then that big pile to the left is all like doom piles or doom bags as you would call them, which I found my slippers, by the way. There's my slippers. I'm always losing these. So I did find them, so that's why I slowed it down to show you guys. So for anybody that doesn't know, DOOM stands for don't organize, only move. So sometimes if we have people coming round, or if I'm tackling an area of the house and I'm not wanting to get into, like the organizing and the decluttering, sometimes I just chuck stuff in a bag that is needing to get sorted out later. Sorry, there's Xander shaking. That's my puppy. Well, he's technically not a puppy. Anyway, so I chuck it in a bag and then I put it to the side to do later, and then later just never comes. So later comes on this day. So first of all, and there's the phone notification. Always background noise when we're doing voiceovers. Also, if you are new here, I don't edit these voiceovers. I press record, I start talking, and you get what you get. So most people seem to like that, and it's a lot less work for me. Anyway, so I'm just kind of organising this side table. So I took away the dishes and then I'm putting away the books onto the bookshelf. I take away any like hair related items like hairbands and baubles and things, and miscellaneous items. I sort out the medication, and then I bin anything that needs binned, and then I kind of put things back where they're meant to be. I don't actually wipe down this table. The plan was to come back and do it, but I never actually got around to it. I feel like I need to sneeze. Just watching this is making my nose tingly. So I did actually just have to pause the voiceover there because I sneezed like 3 times in a row. I still feel like I maybe do need to sneeze. My allergies have actually been really bad lately, which is one of the reasons that I decided to tackle this room. Sorry, let's try this again. It's one of the reasons that I decided to tackle this room. And also the eczema on my hands has flared quite a lot. So one of the things that I collect are dream catchers. Now I have them all above my bed, but they are extremely dusty, and people that have followed me for a while know that basically since last summer I have wanted to clean them and sort them out, and I just never actually got around to it. And so I've decided that I'm just going to take all the dream catchers down and put them in a box and deal with them later, which will probably be in the summer, because the technique that I want to try is hanging them on the line and then using either a vacuum with some like nylon over it, or using an airbrush. Whichever one works most effectively is what I'm going to do. This is one of those notebooks that you buy because you intend on keeping a diary and then you just never actually start, and so I just end up getting rid of this. This is my paperwork box of paperwork that I need to go through. Now, one of the things that I'm not doing on this day is actually going through paperwork. I will look and see if something can be immediately gotten rid of. Otherwise, it just all is getting chucked in here for another day. I think paperwork is one of those tasks that you really need to dedicate the time to do it. And if you're trying to do like a general tidy or organize or clean, getting sucked into the really fine details like doing paperwork can be very derailing, especially if you do struggle to stay on task like what I do. And so, I mean, that is one of the reasons that the doom bag started, because you don't want to get derailed. But yeah, we do not do the paperwork today. However, we do like declutter this drawer, which has been a long time coming. And I did find some things in here that I hadn't seen in a while or that I'd forgotten about. So yay for that. I forgot that I bought these headphones that kind of sit in front of your ears rather than on your ears. And they're called, I think they're like bone density headphones. And so the sound like travels through the bone rather than directly into your ear. And I bought them for swimming because they're waterproof, and if you wear them when you're swimming, then you can still like listen to audiobooks or music. You just download what you want onto the headphones. Sorry, my nose is really stuffy right now. So anyway, so I bought those and I forgot I had them because I haven't been swimming in a while. And I thought, you know, they're actually really handy, because one of the things that I've been finding now that I'm doing the solo free cleans is that when I'm on the clean, I'll wear my like over the ear headphones to listen to audiobooks while I'm cleaning, since I don't have anybody there to talk to. And after a while, I start to get really bad earache, because obviously my ears are covered for so long, because it can be like hours that I'm in the property. And so now that I found those headphones, that could be a solution to that problem. But I do need to check like how loud they are, because I don't want the sound playing through the original audio that I do. So anyway, what I'm finding in here are, first of all, tickets, because whenever we go to my mother-in-law's caravan, the kids play in the arcades and they've been saving up all their tickets, and I am the ticket keeper. I take my job very seriously. So I have a bag of tickets or receipts that have the number of tickets on it. So I'm gathering all of those and putting them together. I found some old contact lenses that I bought, because I don't normally use contact lenses. It freaks me out to put things in my eyes. But I did try them once because I was going to a masquerade dinner party at the university, and I really wanted to wear this beautiful mask that I had, which I couldn't do with my glasses on, and I knew I wouldn't be able to see properly without the glasses. So I tried the contact lenses, absolutely hated it, and never wore them again. And so I'm assuming they've probably gone out of date, and even if they haven't, I doubt I will ever wear them again. So decided to declutter those. And then bobby pins, found lots of bobby pins. Now I know where they all go in random places like this. And then found various electronic items. I had a whole stash of sweets that I forgot about, and they're not the only sweets that I find while doing this, which is amazing. I now have a whole sweet snack box, which I will get to. Anyway, cleared out this drawer and hoovered it out. I do only do the top drawer because the drawer below that is full of, you know, personal adult items, and so I'm not going to sort that out on camera. We all have a drawer like that, I'm assuming. Anyway, and then I just kind of put things back. So I put back all the electronic items that I'm keeping and that I need up here, away from children stealing wires, because they always steal the wires. We can never find a charger in this house because the children always steal it. And then I find this bag and I use this to store all the hair related items. However, later on I find an even nicer bag that is specifically made for that purpose, and so we put them into there instead. Then I sort out the medication. I'm really bad at taking medication. Like, I will not remember to do it unless I can see it physically next to me. And so I leave out a couple of the ones that I definitely have to take at night. And then I leave them where I can see them when I get into bed. And then the rest just gets put into the drawer because they're more of an as and when needed. I decant all the sweeties into one little tub for now until we find our secret stash later. And then I throw all my headbands in here. I really like wearing headbands. I have a lot of them, often because I do not wash my hair often enough, and so my fringe gets quite greasy, and so I like to just chuck my hair back and put a hairband in, and then it looks kind of cute. So now we're just moving on to this corner. This bag here is filled with Halloween costumes, and they normally stay in the top of my husband's side of the wardrobe. I can't actually reach up there, and his side of the wardrobe's a bit of a mess, so I just put the stuff into the bag and then he can put that away later. And then now, I mentioned in a previous video that our dog Xander is no longer staying in the bedroom with us in the crate. He has He used to be really nervous about staying by himself or downstairs, but since recently he had to stay downstairs because he had one of those cones that go on when they go to the vet, and he couldn't really comfortably lie in the crate. So he started staying downstairs, and now he just kind of prefers it. So we can finally get rid of this crate, which has been in our room for the last 3 years. And so that will hopefully clear some space. Now I'm just kind of getting rid of the box from my husband's Xbox, and I always worry about throwing away things like this in case in the future he wants to sell it or donate it. I think it would be handy to have the boxes, but sometimes, you know, you just have to let the boxes go. So yes, that's what I do. So that goes out to the recycling. And then the crate just goes into storage for now, just in case we need it if we go traveling or anything. But I think it'll probably stay in storage for about a year, and then that will also go. So now I'm just vacuuming this area, which was quite dusty, and then I'm going to move some things over. So a lot of this stuff that is like to the right, that is my husband's, that he needs to go through, or he needs to like decide where it's going to go, or if he's keeping it, that kind of thing. And so for now I'm just kind of moving it to this corner, because one of the other things that inspired me to do this room on this day is that my husband can't actually get around to his side of the bed, and he's having to climb over me, which we have very different sleep schedules. He gets up a lot earlier than I do, and it can be quite disruptive. And so that is why I just decided I'm going to do this so that he can actually get to his side of the bed. And so again, it is mostly laundry with some random items sprinkled in there. I have so much laundry to do now that I've sorted out this room. And now that you've seen me do this room, you can see why it is hard for me to inspire the children to do their rooms, because who am I to talk when my room is like even more disgusting than theirs? And I know it's a problem, and it is a problem that I am working on. We have too much stuff, we don't have good routines, all of that stuff, and then mental health, physical health, everything contributes to things getting in a mess like this. Is one of the reasons that I can relate so much to the people who I do the free cleans for. Also, sorry, lots of butt shots in these ones. You know me and poor camera angles. I do have a taller tripod, and I am trying to get better angles, but like it just doesn't tilt enough. So even when I put it taller, then it doesn't tilt down for you to see. I have no idea why every single one of these drawers is open. So all I'm doing is closing them. These are my husband's drawers. We did used to have 2 of these, so I had a set of drawers, he had a set of drawers, we both have half of the wardrobe, but I introduced a new storage methods for storing my clothes, and so I managed to declutter my clothes enough that they all now fit into my side of the wardrobe. The only thing is, because they are a bit of a hassle to put away, it's one of the reasons that my clean laundry ends up staying out for a while. As you can see, we do have a mould problem in this room, and it doesn't help that we do leave so much stuff lying around and leaning against walls. But what you don't see me doing in this room is I spray HG mould remover, and it clears so much of the mould up. It's an incredible product. HG, if you want to sponsor me, I have so much mould in this house that it would be a great example of how well the product works. Originally, I was not really wanting to completely do this room until I was able to also decorate it, because this wall next to me and the wall behind the bed, I do need to strip the wallpaper, treat the mould, and then cover, like paint with damp proof paint or something to stop this mould coming back, because the only reason we get the mould is because our house is kind of L-shaped, and this wall, the wall behind the bed, and then the wall on my daughter's bedroom wall, those 3 walls do not get any sunlight pretty much all year round, because of the way that the sun, bye Madison, the way that the sun rises and sets. It just, we don't get any heat. Sorry, that was just Madison leaving, and Xander might bark now. Xander, lie down, you're okay. So anyway, yeah, that is why we have the mold problem. It's not due to condensation. Xander, lie down. I'm doing a voiceover, don't be rude. This window is pretty much always left open, and We do keep our heating on and things as well. We also have a dehumidifier. That's that little white and blue thing behind my butt that you can't see right now. Sorry, this is really bad angles. But that one has stopped working. We need a bigger one, a better one. So if anybody does have any recommendations for really good like dehumidifiers, please link them in the comments and I will definitely check them out because I am on the lookout for one. Also, if anybody wants to sponsor me for a dehumidifier, that would be very gratefully received because we definitely need one. So all I'm doing there was getting rid of all the dishes on my husband's side of the room, and they are not all his dishes. Sometimes if we do eat upstairs and we finish, I just pass him my plate because once I'm upstairs I cannot go downstairs again, especially in the evening. It's too painful for me, and so I just give him the dish, and if he can be bothered he takes it downstairs, and if not he just kind of leaves it upstairs. One of the reasons that this room gets so bad is that we come in this room at night and then that's it, and once we leave in the morning it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind, and it's not until we come back into the room at night that we kind of realize, you know, we've left dishes, we've left rubbish, we've got laundry, that kind of thing. Also, because it is our room, it's always last to be sorted out. We always kind of do everywhere else in the house first. So now I am taking down all of the dream catchers. It was quite difficult. Some of them were really pinned in there, and so I had to use the sleeve of my jumper to get them down. I'm also kind of scared of heights and get a bit of vertigo, so this was quite scary balancing on the bed like this. I do so well. I don't fall or anything. And then right at the very end, I've slowed it down a little bit for you. You get to see me wobble a bit, and I was like, really? I get to the end and then I nearly fall off the bed. Anyway, what I'm doing is, you can't really see, but I have a box and I have some tissue paper. And so I am laying tissue paper, putting a dream catcher down, laying another tissue paper so that all the feathers and beads and everything else don't get entangled with other dream catchers, so they all have their own little section of the box. And I do manage to fit them all into the one box. And then I think I had to go and get some more tissue paper, so I decided to slow it down and show you how bad this is. So again, please don't judge, but do you see all of the dust all around the dream catcher? It's not something I ever thought I would have to clean, but then look at the dust on these feathers. These feathers are not, like, most of that is dust. So yes, that's how bad they all are. That was one of the worst ones, so I did bring that one down to show you while I went and got more tissue paper. So that is kind of probably not helping with my allergies and my asthma. Also, what I was doing there is, like, the eczema on my hands has flared up so bad, and dealing with things like dusty dream catchers was kind of making it a little bit worse. But anyway, so I'm sleeping under these very dusty dream catchers, and that is probably not helping along with the mould. Speaking of the mould, this is a good angle. So if you see the top left corner of the room and above the curtain pole, you can see how mouldy that is. Well, I then, after doing this, I sprayed the mould spray, the HD mould spray, and that is now all completely gone, which is just incredible to me. Another thing that we need to do in this room, as well as painting and treating the mould, is we need to replace our bed. It is very long overdue, and so I think that is one of our goals for 2026, is to get a new bed and mattress for ourselves, because like I say, we do tend to be the last ones that get anything in this house. Also, I am wearing a tan coloured like vest top under my jumper, so that is not like my stomach you're getting flashes of, that is just my shirt. I didn't think that that large dream catcher was going to fit in the box, but it's actually my least favourite dream catcher, so I had already decided, there was me nearly falling by the way, I had already decided if it didn't fit in the box then I probably wasn't going to keep it anyway. But it did fit in the box, and so it lives to see another day. So now I tried to vacuum up the dust that was left over on the ceiling, but I did it for like a couple of minutes and it was killing my shoulder. It was just too much for me to do, and so I didn't continue. I thought that's something that my husband can come in and do as well. Something else that he needs to do is take down the lampshade for me, and so that can get all cleaned as well, because that was also very dusty. And then by this point I really did not want to continue, but I thought, you know, I'm just going to push through and keep going and just do what I can. And so this, like these bags and piles have been a like point of contention for a very long time. And so I decided I'm just going to go for it. I have some like items here that are brand new that have never been used, that have just been put up here to be put away later, including this dream catcher that I bought that is handmade that I'm showing you. Hopefully I lower it enough for you guys to actually see. It's like crochet dream catcher. It's amazing. It's an owl. So yeah, so I have some new dream catchers that I've just never actually gotten up onto the ceiling, and so they're also going in the box. I think I found 4 of them. That handmade one, another big one, and then a medium-sized one and a small one. And then this is the bag that I found for the hair items, so I was just decanting them into there. And then, yeah, we're going to go through bag by bag and see what we've got. So in this bag, I found loads of sweets that I had originally bought to give out at Halloween and then lost them because they ended up in here. And then these are some items that I bought the kids for our holiday that, again, got put in here and got lost. So now they're going into the Christmas cupboard and they will be gifted for Christmas instead. And then this bag was, if you guys remember a while ago, I won the spin, like the lottery spin that we play in our book club WhatsApp chat, and I put all the items in this bag and it ended up in the room and yeah, just got forgotten about. And so I was like, oh, I forgot I got this. And so yeah, I had a ton of books and craft items and candles and snacks and yeah, all of that stuff. So I finally get all that put away and organised, and so now that is usable. I don't usually have to pause the voiceover this much, but I have had to pause it quite a few times on this day just because my nose is so stuffy and Xander keeps making noise, that kind of thing. Anyway, so my kind of approach to tackling this section of the room was to go bag by bag, put like items with like items, see what I can get rid of, see what needs put in different areas of the house. So like my books can go to the bookshelf, hair items can go with hair items, bags can go in the pantry, that kind of thing. There was also some items that were getting donated. So inside that Asda bag is an outfit that we bought, I think from Madison, that just did not fit her or did not she didn't like it, and so I was meant to return it, and then I suck at doing returns, so it never got returned. This basket here was the Boo basket that I made, and it is now my snack basket. Look at all these snacks, so many snacks. So they now live on my bedside table so I can snack to my heart's content. There is another phone notification for you guys. This bag was actually, and I'm so ashamed to say this, but this was from my birthday last year. So that is the automatic card shuffler that I was gifted, and I've never used it because it's just sat here. And it's not, some people would say if you've not used it in a year, you don't really need it, you can get rid of it. But I have been looking for it because I have wanted to see if it would work to shuffle our Pokemon cards, because that would be very handy if it does. But I need to figure out if it works when the Pokemon cards are in their protective sleeves that we have. So it's not that I've not used it so it can go away, it's simply that I've not used it because I've not been able to find it because I didn't know where it was. But yeah, it was here the whole time. So now the stuff that's in this bag is actually stuff that I need to take along to our storage unit, which is instead of the office. So that's where all our 5-foot cleaning stuff is. So that stuff there was like camera equipment and filters for my respirator mask, and also some paperwork. So that bag does need to go there. And then this bag was a bag of paperwork and like memory items. And again, I just decided not today, Satan, and so I just put the box of paperwork with it and decided to store it in my wardrobe out of sight for now. But one day we will get to that. It is all paperwork that I do need to keep because I did have a quick flick through, and it was things like insurance documents and like photos, that kind of thing. And then the little handbags that I have a bag of bags for them, so that stays on top shelf of my wardrobe, so I just put them away. And then these are some like notepads and journals and things that I also need to sort through, but again, I'm just stacking them for now. Then now I'm just putting away items down to the kitchen or the bathroom, wherever they need to go. This bag here, I had no idea what this was. And as I was going through, I realised when I got a new car at the beginning of this year, I had to empty out my old glove box, and this was basically all the stuff out of my car. And so it sat here for 8 months. I don't need most of it. What I tend to do is when I ever like fill my car up with petrol, I always get a receipt and then keep it just in case for some reason I need those receipts. So it was mostly just receipts from filling up the car or little bits of paperwork that were lying around the car. I found another charging wire, which yay, this is one of Kai's old school jumpers, no longer fits, and it was kind of minging, so I just decided I'm not going to wash and donate that, I'm just going to get rid of it. And then I do find a CD. Now the CD that I am about to show you is very important to me. When my grandpa was alive, he would sometimes drive me between England and Scotland, and whenever he did, we would listen to this particular CD. It is Irish folk songs, and they are hilarious, and I love them so much that on my 16th birthday, all me and my friends did silly little hairstyles and danced around our living room singing these Irish folk songs. And they are tunes like My Girlfriend Has a Mobile Phone, and the story of Murphy's Bricks, and why Murphy can't go to work that day. And they're just really, really funny songs. And when my grandpa passed away, I think it was my aunt had listed on Facebook asking if any of the family wanted any of his belongings, and I think there was a pile of CDs, and I had said, if that CD is there, could I please have that, because I have a lot of memories with that CD. And unfortunately that CD was not there. And then my auntie actually found the CD online and bought it for me and sent it to me, and so I was very happy to get that CD. And then now I've just found, the leggings that I always wear, I actually got them from Temu a while ago, and I knew that I had more. I was sure I had more leggings than this. I had no idea where they were. Turns out I'd never even fully unpacked them. Excuse me. And so that was me finding another set of leggings, well, a few sets, and I was like, yay, because I really need some, because sometimes I have to store my leggings away after working in particularly bad houses. Like there was a house that had a bug infestation, and I was not risking bringing them back to my house, so I ended up bagging up the leggings, and then they just lived outside forever and I had to throw them away. So anyway, was glad I found some more. And then just doing an overall hoover. Also the last bag that you guys seen there, I was too busy chatting. That was some clothes that I was given that I could look through, and if I didn't want them, they could be donated. And so that's what I did. And then I'm just kind of organising things for my husband to go through. And finally, I decided to put away some of my clean washing, because like I say, this is always a little bit of a task due to the system that I have for putting things away. And then this is kind of the last thing I do when my husband gets home, because he's not actually here this day. When he gets home, he changes the bedding for us. So it was really nice that night to go into the nice clean room, and the mould was treated, the room was dusted, the bedding was changed, and I just actually had quite a good night's sleep. Obviously my allergies are still bad, because I was working in a very dusty mouldy room yesterday all day, but now hopefully that will improve. And yeah, I'm just feeling so much better about it. Obviously, there is a long way to go. There is a lot of decluttering still to do. The big chest of drawers, I never even touched the top of that. That is mostly because it is all my mostly my husband's stuff that he basically, the things that are left to do in this room, apart from inside my wardrobe, I need his assistance with, because it's either his stuff or stuff that I can't make a decision solo about, kind of thing. So anyway, just a little reminder once again, if you've made it this far, to please like and subscribe and comment. Here is a reminder of what the room looked like before, and then I will let you enjoy the after result, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here with me. I am very grateful that you make me feel comfortable enough to share my own home even when it gets this bad. So bye.